Alright, hey guys, I'm Matt Lighty, and this video is very quick and very simple. I'm going to show you how I get cluster jewels in Solo Self-Found very easily. And the eye level, we're talking hundreds a day, no problem. The eye level of the cluster jewels is going to really depend on how strong your build is, because doing this methodology for getting cluster jewels is extremely build intensive and difficult, even in white and yellow maps, because the level of delirium we reach, being like the 7th reward tier of delirium, starts to make it so the mobs don't really take any damage and almost one-shot me. Now, the scaling of delirium itself is a bit fucky-wucky when it comes to mirrors. It's not as simple as just you're having X amount of deliriousness equals increased damage and less damage taken. But the TLDR is the farther you are into the map and the more rewards you have, the less damage they take, upwards to tremendous amounts of less damage taken, and they do more damage and you gain more quantity. So the farther you are in the delirium and the more it starts cranking, shit gets harder. So let me just show you the basic framework for a tree, because this is the basis of what we're doing and how it operates. For this, now this tree is obviously only 66 points, because this is really all you need to do what I'm about to show you. Now you have to have maps. I really recommend you check the eye level of your jewels you need. For example, I was doing this specifically because I wanted small cluster mana reservations, and I wanted them for introspection, and I didn't want 75 for purposeful, so I picked a tier 5 map being Tropical Island, because that's just the one I wanted. So you can put on singular focus if you want that to just sit on the map you want. You'll sustain infinitely. The quantity of these maps are quite high because we're a wandering path tree. Now, wandering path means notables do nothing, small node values are doubled, keystones still operate. And this is all thanks to the new keystone, Unending Nightmare, which makes it so Delirium Fog never dissipates, which means we pick to hit a mirror, so not like a Delirium Orb, we hit a mirror, the maps scale as if it's on Delirium Mirror, but it just never ends. You don't have orb drops, you don't have splinter drops, which in a way sucks, but is also a bit liberating because it means we don't have to invest in a lot of these parts in the tree. Delirium's becoming faster, farther, lasting long. None of that matters, right? All the notables don't matter. These nodes that say, you know, you get more orbs, doesn't matter. You get more splinters, doesn't matter, right? So the nodes we pick up are spawn rate, and again, these are super amp, so 8% each spawn rates there. Okay, we have another more likely to generate rewards. These are good. More likely to generate bosses. You don't have to have these. There's kind of just no reason not to. The bosses are still chumps, and it's free loot, so I just recommend getting them. Spawn rate there. I don't recommend getting this 2% chance to have maps spawn delirious. You don't really want delirious maps. You want to have a mirror on the map instead of the orb variation. These are good. Increased chance of clusters. That's why we're doing this. The orb drops, again, don't matter. These are really good. Increases reward progress. This makes us reach tier 7 reward guaranteed on a white map, which was previously very difficult. And Stream of Consciousness is upping our base rate. Fragments don't really do anything for getting clusters for the most part, so that's fine. And all these 2% nodes becoming 4% from Wandering Path also scales up. Feel free to, if you want to, just pick up, you know, the entire quantity wheel. You could kind of disregard the center portion, or you can pick it up and just whatever of these mechanics you feel like is valued the best without having notable investment, because again, we don't have notable access. So this is the basis of the tree. This will be in the description below. Feel free to tweak it to your heart's content. I'm also running Breach and Harvest just for proof of concept. This is basically from I don't know, 4 hours of doing this. So, and I've re-rolled probably 80 of these, as in rolled 5 to 1 80 times at least. In the course of one day, I have hit, so my character's wearing 5, and I got 2 more there, and I rolled 2 more, so I've gotten 8 of the jewels I want. These are the ones I want. And specifically targeting a small with 3 passives might seem bad, but I've already gotten 4 3 passive today, and I don't think it's unlucky. It has been the least acquired one. So I don't have stream on now just because of this, but this is the basis. I just put on a map. I don't invest at all. and then you just hit delirium, or you hit the delirium mirror, and it persists forever. Now, without stream, the chance to spawn this is about, I think it's like 40 or 50%, and it's like almost 70 or 80% with stream active. And you can't block mechanics, so sometimes you'll have shenanigans spawn. But if you have 3 things that are high spawn rate, you typically don't get more than 3 to 4 league functions to occur at a time on my tree, so yeah. So normally you would proc this, and then you'd get the bar there to end it. No bar. No, there's nothing to push cancel. That's just not there now. Meaning you can't even misclick and fuck it up. And then we just begin. And the amount of clusters you get every time you progress a reward tier, you almost get a guaranteed 1 to 4 cluster drops. So there's my 1 for that first reward tier being met. So you'll see how quick the reward tiers go up, because we're invested in that additional reward tier part. And there we go, there's another cluster. And this is going to be like, you can start the same aside, but it's most likely you'll get 10 to 20 clusters a map, depending on the quantity of the map, depending on the RNG. It goes, though. Every rare can drop a unique or cluster. When a boss spawns, it can drop clusters. There's another cluster. So yeah, you'll just see it kind of go real quick, and you'll just start to get clusters kind of left and right. Already at 4 now, and it's going to just keep on going. And remember what I said about this being difficult. Again, we're on a tier 5 map, and I'm in a pretty well-rounded endgame build at the moment. And you will start to see that the delirium mobs that spawn as this reward tier gets cranked up just kind of stop dying. And on top of stopping on dying, they start to kill you. So be weary. It's yeah, it's gonna be hard. Unironically quite difficult. There we go, another proc of clusters there, 3 more. Wasn't joking, they just rained from the heavens. For this keystone, getting clusters in SSF was honestly a very annoying process. This completely trivializes it. You could get whatever specific clusters you want in a day. You know, a day is a weird way to phrase it. 3 to 4 hours, I would say you're going to hit at least 1 or 2 of the clusters you want by doing white mapping with Alkengo white mapping. And that's never kind of happened before. So this is kind of crazy. Make sure you walk around and pop all the little pustules on the ground. Those do contain packs of delirium mobs, which further your reward progress and can drop clusters. Anything can drop clusters. You're approaching the 7th tier here, and you can start to feel things aren't really dying that fast. That 7th tier definitely kicks it up a notch. To get up to the 8th tier on a white map, you kind of need like multiple things on it, like Legion, Abyss, Breach, like the whole 9. But it's really not necessary. You're better off time-wise just running a new map, kind of. Alright, so there's tier 7. We've got 2 more clusters. I think that makes us 8 or 9 this map. And yeah, you can just see things are tanky now. Death is very possible. You don't care about killing the boss. It's 100% reasonable to just get to the second you hit that 7 on your reward tier, to just leave the map and restart it. Especially if you're trying to level. The risk of dying is higher. Alright, a map comes to an end there. And just to recap, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 clusters dropped. Probably within about 5 minutes of mapping. You know, we didn't have any commentary. There's our refund. Almost always get it, especially with scarabs on. And yeah, we could just do another one just to showcase again how the results are easily replicated. But no, you'll get every cluster you ever wanted. Just double check the levels for what you want. Sometimes you want low to block, sometimes you want high to reach certain things. Doing this in a red map, shit, man, you're gonna get your shit pushed in if you're not playing like a super cracked build. So just be warned. There's our clusters. All right, next reward tier coming up here. There's our clusters. Hey, more clusters. More clusters. Kind of a shame we got the breaches on the second island, because they are significantly harder to do when I'm almost already at reward tier 6. Like, things will start to not die from Profane Bloom. It's kind of when I know I flew too close to the sun. I've Icarus. Cluster, cluster, clusters. Clusters galore. Is this Lighty? Yep. More clusters. 4 passive totem. That's a pretty desirable one. Where have I been? What? That video goes out like every other day. Uh-oh. Oh, we're okay. We're fine. Little love tap. Little minor hiccup, if you will. Oh. Look at dragon flights. Charge dash. Oh no. I got distracted in the middle of this video because Zen sent me a picture of some guy's hideout that looks like it's an anime girl upskirting. So that's fantastic. Alright, so that map again was about 4 or 5 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 clusters. Pretty simple, pretty standard. If you want to get cluster jewels in SSF especially, this method works extremely consistently with basically no investment. You just, I chisel an alchem map, if you want to call that investment, and then I just walk in the map, and that's the end of my investment. Then I've just got more clusters than one man can handle. So, if that interests you, I recommend checking this method out. I'm using it to get my clusters. It is foolproof. It will work for you. I'm Mathew Lighty, and you have a good day. Bye-bye.